Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are here to spotlight Big Thinkers Kindergarten, a game that came out 2 years after the Let's Explore trilogy of games and is targeted to a slightly older uh, age group since it's for kindergartners or kids going into kindergarten, whereas the Let's Explore was for 3 years old and up. I'm going to take a moment just to once again show how to get this to run because it doesn't quite run perfectly through Steam by default. It's the same procedure, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Let's Explore Game settings. I'm not deleting the actual files here. I'm simply removing the configuration to make some room. You add a game, you browse to C program files or whatever your hard drive is. Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Big Thinkers Kindergarten. Again, click Choose. And the only thing from the default that I like to override is go to HQ 3 times, high quality, 3 times of zooming, and everything else I leave alone. Double check, make sure aspect ratio correction and full screen mode are not on. For me, I'm going to have speech and subtitles both on. Perhaps for some games, it might be a little bit better not to have the subtitles on, but since they're educational games, I think the ability to read and learn more words whenever the characters are talking is probably more useful than anything it gets in the way of. And then we just click Start and hit Alt Enter, and now it's going.
Hello there.
How are you?
It's great to see you here. I'm
Becky Brightly.
Let's start off with a cheer.
Yay!
We'll face
Challenges together.
think big and you will see.
You can do amazing things just like Ken and me. We stretch and spin, we'll jump and down, turn colors, fly and run. Your mind will grow with all you know and fill your brain with fun.
And fill your brain with fun.
So come along to our house where big adventure starts. Reach for the stars and you'll be a superstar of smarts. Big Thinkers Kindergarten.
So there's only 2 games in Big Thinkers series.
We're so glad you could join us.
Let's make
Kindergarten and first
you're in our
grade.
book of big thinkers. Click these letters to spell your name.
Click on the stars to color the letters.
If you make a mistake, click on this eraser.
Click Delete if you want to remove a name. Click here to choose a brain bank.
Your brain bank is where you collect all the SmartStars you earn around our house.
Oh, and don't forget to tell us when your birthday is right here.
We'd love to celebrate it with you.
You can click here to see your smart chart. It keeps track of all the stars you earn.
When you're ready to start, click Let's Play.
So a lot of setup going on here. Definitely a lot of setup. You can type in a name here. This certainly, they did ask you your name when you got to the game section for the first time in the Let's Explore
If this
series.
is your first time visiting us, enter a new name.
Let's go with this. And then let's see, let me see if I can figure out what today's date is. And let's see, okay, it's the 7th of January that I'm recording this. Let's go ahead and set today as our birthday.
If you
7.
So you can see where the subtitles kind of get in the way. And let me tell you, if you thought Buzzy the Bug's intro was long and annoying, this is gonna be even worse. And I guess Smart Chart's not
Smart
ready.
chart.
your smart chart keeps track of all the SmartStars you ever earned.
Even smart stars you used up in the Superstar Smarts Challenge will still show up here.
If you ever want to change your brain bank, click here to go back to the sign-in page.
So, unlike the Let's Explore, which is more about just teaching very simplistic things, we're getting down to really
Measurement
difficult
and estimation.
concepts. Well, more actual educational concepts here.
Music creativity.
And they're going to give you stars that are, I assume, 2 music and art probably means something
Music creativity.
mixed together. for something like the red stars. But let's see, sign in would take us back to the
Here
sign in.
before, just click on your name and let's play.
If this is your
Click here and then let's play and let's start. And what's interesting here is either the game itself cannot figure out that today is allegedly my birthday by telling on the clock, or I've done something wrong here.
Smart Chart. Your Smart Chart keeps track of all the Smart Stars you ever earn.
even SmartStars you used up
Let's
in the
go and see if
Superstar
we can
Smarts
skip this
Challenge will
dial.
still show up here.
If you ever
I'm
want to
trying to
change
click
your
here
brain
and
bank,
skip it.
click
It's not
here to
working.
go back to the sign-in page.
So we've got music playing nonstop. We've got this, and the game's just kind of leaving us here. So there's a star here that we can go to, a star here we can go to, areas we can travel. Let's
It's
click
time to
this.
tell time. Here's how we'll play. I'll ask you to set a time on my clock face. Show me the answer by clicking my hands and moving them to the right time. Click again to let go. Can you point the hands on my clock to 4 o'clock?
Let's see. Isn't that 4 o'clock?
Perfect timing.
2 more right and you'll get Smart Stars.
Alright.
Where should my clock hands
This is
be
creepy
when
as
it's
face.
12 o'clock?
His face is just changed into a clock.
Terrific.
At 12 o'clock midnight, I'm sound asleep.
Set my clock hands to 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Right on time.
You can see up on the shelf how this time looks on a digital clock. As far as I can see, you're a star.
So I get 2 stars that I can put in here. Get a little
What
animation
would the
here.
clock look like at 5 o'clock?
Alright, let's see if we can exit this. Interesting, it is 9:10 in the evening that I'm recording on
What a
this.
fun time.
But there's several interactive things, but I guess the only things with stars are actually things that matter as far as trying to earn stars. So let's start with this one.
Hey, what's going on in my bedroom?
There's a
Yikes!
lot of music and a lot
It
of
looks like a tornado came
lot
through
of
here. I
talking
hope you
going
can help
on
me
here.
put my room back together. Just click on a piece you want to move, then click where you think it should go.
So there's definitely an issue here of
This could be a
annoyance.
fun thing to print out when it's all together. Every time you put my room back together, you'll earn green Smart Stars.
I suppose this means I can't move his head. Let's see if that works. Yeah. So what's the deal with all the watermelons? Guy? Let's see. Guess that one goes there. That one goes
The
there.
only thing more fun than collecting watermelons is collecting Smart Stars.
So I get 3 green stars. So this,
Click
compared
on
to
the
the
new button for
Let's
another
Explore
bedroom puzzle.
game, is a lot
This is a different look for my room.
more education focused, which is good, but it's a lot more irritating too. Like, I could definitely see parents not wanting to listen to music over and over again. Kids will probably have no problem listening to music over and over again, but the parents, they are not going to be happy
No
with
matter
it.
if it's day or night, Smart Stars
His
are
shoes
my
are
favorite
Putt
sight.
Putt, which is a character of of the Humongous series that's more of a classic point-and-click adventure game for kids instead of being education focused. Right.
Click on the new button for another bedroom puzzle.
So this is just going to be puzzles. What does this do? What does this do? Interesting.
See what you can do this time.
So what does it do when I click here now? What does it do when I click this now? Nothing. Interesting that these pictures don't do anything.
Time to gather myself together and go.
So that's another activity.
The Superstar of Smarts Challenge!
We're cleared for lunch. Your big moment has arrived.
Time for the Superstar of Smarts Challenge.
What is this?
You need to have some Smart Stars of each color before you can take the challenge.
Let's go back and pick up some more SmartStars.
So apparently this is some end game mechanic.
No problem. You can try the Superstar of Smarts Challenge again.
First, let's get more SmartStars.
So nothing here. So we can go this way, or we can go this way. Let's go this way.
Welcome to our kitchen.
Where we can always cook up something fun to do.
It is kind of bad that there's no just quick travel system, because that means there's going to be games here that kids won't even find. Like, you really would need a walkthrough just to find all the different puzzles. Let's see, it seems like there's two here, one in the refrigerator, one in the sink, and then we'll move on.
What's going on in our refrigerator?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's something cool.
But every game is
Look at all the food in here. Everything's a different size.
requires an
Hey, that gives me
introduction,
an idea.
and you're
How
not
many
going to
carrots
spend that
would
much.
stack up just as tall as I am now? Start by moving that food item next to me. Then, or try to guess the answer anytime.
Well, let's see, is that one or two?
1. You've got a good eye. Here's a new one. How many olives would stack up as tall as I am?
This is an interesting puzzle that I wouldn't immediately consider. And see, that looks like 2 again. 2.
2. Exactly. Yours
Have to be a little
super stacker.
close.
Pile on the Smart Stars. How many jars of mustard would equal my height now?
So this is height
I was
estimating,
getting kind of chilly anyway.
which I certainly wouldn't have thought of that. Looks like there might be one for the window too. So there may be 2 or
Hey,
3
that gives me a bubbling good
puzzles
idea.
on each screen.
I'll start by blowing some bubbles. Each set of bubbles I blow follows a pattern. Can you figure out which bubbles come next? Click on this hand to choose the shape of the next bubble, and this hand to choose the color. When you're ready to
This is
create
really
that bubble,
creepy.
click on the
It's
blue
like the
question
Wonder
marks up
Twins
above.
powers, except for they both can do shape and size. Or the plastic man.
What do you think are the next 3 bubbles in this pattern?
Well, that would be a square. And
Yellow,
this purple.
blue.
Oh, they're saying this is blue? I guess it's a dark blue. Then we click that.
That works.
And then red circle.
Triangle. Circle. Red.
And then that. And
Yup.
that.
Nice match. Great job. Get ready for some fresh suds.
So there's definitely some real education going
What do
here
you think
if you
are the
can
next
find
3
it.
bubbles in this pattern?
I think this game particularly solves the problem in that there's not an exit
Yellow.
button. So if you left a kid
Nice match.
on this program, you'd be teaching him as he wandered around or got until they got bored and just left the computer
Purple.
completely.
Green.
Also, they're getting that crucial
Yup.
mouse experience that they won't get from tablets and
Nice
cell
match.
phones.
You've got vision. Tiny bubbles in my mind.
Let's see. So I get
Your
some more
success
stars.
makes me bubble over with excitement.
And then it just keeps going, even after it rewards you with stars. So no encouragement,
What do you think
particularly
are the next
to
three bubbles in this
go to a
pattern?
different place.
Let's see what other
So,
fun is floating around.
I imagine
You
if
can
your
never
child
be
was
too full of
obsessive,
ideas.
they could play this over and over again, and
I'll
just
take
forever.
you there and fly you there.
Whoa!
Let's see what's in this one.
Look, I wrote the alphabet in the sky. It sure helps when you know how to fly. Switch around the letters on the cloud below so they match their order in the alphabet. Click once on a letter to pick it up, then click the place on the cloud where you want it to go.
So this is not
Everything looks in order. I can be anything in the alphabet.
something
choose
I
a
would
letter.
really choose to do. Let's see.
T is for turtle.
And so
Let's
get
try
some
this
more of
game
this.
again. What's the right order for these letters?
B, C,
Nice
D.
going. What should I become this time? Just choose a letter.
Well, what you turn
Z
into
is for
is
zipper.
That's creepy looking.
Let's try this game again. What's the right order for these letters? Nice going. You show a real
No
talent for
difficulty
straightening
setting
things out.
here because
SmartStars.
this is for kindergartners, obviously, and only kindergartners.
On the
So
cloud under me is a lowercase letter. Look at the alphabet and see if you can find the uppercase letter that matches.
it's asking us something different now.
R.
Interesting.
A perfect match. Pick a letter. Any letter.
What does X do?
X is for X-ray. Here comes another.
So the game has changed a little bit here. That's
U.
slightly surprising.
That's the one. Pick a letter and
I figured
let's
it would
celebrate.
just go there. Let's see. What are you going to turn into?
I is for igloo.
I.
Try another letter now.
Let's do one more of
K.
these.
A perfect match.
See if it
You've
maybe
made
gives us
matching these
different
letters an open and shut
stars.
case. You've earned SmartStars.
No, it's just more red stars. Smart stars.
See if you can put the letters below in the same order as they are in the alphabet.
So
Let's jet.
recognizing lower cases, alphabetizing, and let's move on to the next area. Let's see, we've got one here, and they're tapping their feet impatiently. That's no way to teach a child to have patience. And if it's one thing a kindergartner needs, it would be patience.
Wait until you see our garden. It's amazing.
So,
Wow, this looks like a maze. I'll need your help to figure out how to get
I'm gonna
through
try
it.
to find
Just
all
click
of
on the
these,
path I
but
should take to get through this part of the
I
garden.
really can't guarantee for a second that I'm actually going to find everything. It's with no overworld choice, no quick jumping to sections. Even if you knew where everything is, a child very well may not bother to walk to the further puzzle things that are just further away. And it really seems strange that there's no settings or options here, no adult or parent settings.
You've got a great sense of direction.
Is it gonna make me do another one to get
Which
to
way do you
Smart
think
Star?
will take me to the end?
Well, here would. I guess you just have to click on the right angle turns here and save yourself a little bit of work. Not a ton of work though. Slightly surprising this works at all.
All right, come on, let's chant the
We've
chicken
seen
cheer.
humongous games use their engine
Bring on the
to
SmartStars.
do similar things, more complicated things really. That's a nice slow maze, no time management.
Who knew our garden was so big?
So
Horse.
we have a horse and a rabbit.
Rabbit.
And what are we doing here?
I can't get around this pile of food unless you can help me figure out which of these animals I should turn into. Then I could eat up all the food and keep on moving.
Ah, so it's changed a
Rabbit,
little bit.
now click on the pile of food you want me to eat. Leafy greens are part of a balanced diet.
So now the mazes get a little bit more complicated because you have to sit here and
Rabbit, now
Rabbit.
click on the pile.
and then horse.
I'm too far away to reach any food.
You have to be right in front of
Horse,
it first.
now this food, of course, is for a horse.
Everything they say has to be a little bit more than
Rabbit,
necessary.
now click on the pile of.
Repetitive, annoying. I imagine.
I'm too far away to reach any food.
I imagine a kindergartner
Horse,
may
now
not be
click on the
willing to
pile
put
of-
up with this.
Rabbit, now click on.
Let's see. Walk here, and let's walk to the next puzzle.
You're becoming a real animal expert.
This time it's now
Who knew
chicken
our garden was so big?
and horse. So the animals change.
Chicken, now I feel the need for seed.
And I'm trying to skip through this because I'm finding it rather annoying.
Horse, now
I can almost guarantee a parent would not want to listen to this.
chicken. Beak licking good.
Seems like with this they
Horse,
didn't
now
learn things from the Let's Explore.
horse.
Although this
now click
this
on the pile
game
of.
is certainly trying to teach a lot more than Let's Explore was. Let's Explore barely was teaching you maybe 20, 40, 50 vocabulary words and maybe a few
Horse,
other
horse.
concepts.
Now click on the pile of.
But this is chock full of educational things, probably with less entertainment going on. At this point, it is full education and
Chicken,
very
now
little
click on the pile.
entertainment. So I'm not sure I'd even call it edutainment. It's trying to be
Horse,
entertaining,
now click on the pile of food.
but it doesn't really work. One of the issues certainly with a game like this that's
Come
20
on,
years
let's
old
chant the
too
chicken
is
cheer.
that Humongous, the company that made this, also had a series
More
of Blue's Clues
SmartStars. All
games
right.
that were somewhat similar, and they've been removed from all history because, well, actually, I would suspect heavily it's because
Which way should I go now?
the original owner of Blue, actor, I think, committed suicide, is what I heard, and the
Isn't
Disney
all this
Channel
food
doesn't
making
want
you
you
hungry?
to traumatize kids because of that fact. So we also have this and this to check out.
It looks like there's a whole world down there.
That gives me an idea.
It
Let's play
goes.
hide and seek. I'll hide.
They're pretty well diverse between a brother and sister. Here, I
guess he wasn't
assume.
kidding about hide and seek.
I assume they're brother
Three
and
clues
sisters.
To help you find Ben. After each clue, click on the screen to make a guess.
Okay.
Here's your first clue. He's hiding somewhere outdoors.
Well, then let's go with this
No,
one.
Ben's not here. Maybe another clue will help. Your first clue was he's hiding somewhere outdoors. Your second clue is he's next to the big city.
So write this.
Correct. You really know your
Interesting.
geography.
Ben's choosing a whole new place to hide. No peeking.
Okay, I'm ready.
It doesn't fully fade out.
Here's your first clue. I don't see any water where Ben is hiding. Not here.
We'll
Maybe
check
another
that
clue
again.
will help. Your first clue was, I don't see any water.
Pretty
Ben is
repetitive
hiding.
here.
Your second clue is,
Is-
Ben is between the town and the forest.
The town and the forest. Well, there's the town and the forest. Let's see.
You must know what's coming. SmartStars!
So there's two sections there. This particular game is probably really good for
Ben's
getting
choosing a whole new
stars.
place to hide. No peeking.
Let's see if anything
Okay,
changes
I'm
here.
ready.
Okay, here's your first clue. He's hiding somewhere outdoors.
Let's just try this again.
Sorry, he must be somewhere else.
Maybe another clue will help. Your first clue was, he's hiding somewhere outdoors. Your second clue is, Ben is in a body of water that rivers flow into.
Let's try places.
Sorry, he must be somewhere else.
Let's see what happens if we fail.
All right, you get one more clue and one more guess. Your first clue was, he's hiding somewhere outdoors. Your second clue was, Ben is in a body of water that rivers flow into. And your third and final clue is, Ben is between the mountain and the pond.
So there's a mountain, there's hills, there's this.
That was your last guess. Ben, you'll have to show us where you are.
Here I am. I was hiding in the lake.
Ben's going to hide again.
Come
Interesting.
look for me.
Okay, here's your first clue. He's hiding somewhere outdoors.
Let's go ahead
I'm
and
done
exit.
hiding.
So this is probably a good one to get stars. Let's see what
I
this one
think I
is.
hear someone calling us back there.
Let's go check it out.
And I think at this point we're probably going to have to speed up going through all of these processes
Pardon me, my friends and I need a place to play.
and not bother to
Can you
get
help us?
stars.
Sure. Thanks.
So we've
If
got
I
numbers.
have 0 birds and Ben has 1 bird, how many birds in all?
Click the fence post showing the number you think is right.
Alright, so this is just addition.
1.
We'll do
You're a
subtraction.
natural-born number cruncher.
See you later.
If I have 0 birds and Becky has 2 birds, how many birds in all?
This again is just
2.
addition.
You're obviously not a bird brain. Got to clean the nest. If I have 1 bird and Ben has 2 birds, how many birds in all?
3.
I knew you had it right.
Like how the
Oh.
birds dance when you get it right.
Bring on the smart stars.
So let's move on. Unless this is going to be some addition.
If I have 0 birds and Becky has 3 birds, how many birds in all?
Seems like it's just going to
Which
be
way is
addition.
north?
So then we move on further to this way.
Let's explore the great outdoors.
And
Welcome to
they've
the
gone
woods.
from their house to the woods, which nowadays is not appropriate for kids to be wandering around the woods, certainly. And we can go even deeper in the woods. There's one here and one here. Is there a third thing to click on? No. So let's see what this
Looks
is.
like someone's been littering back there.
Let's clean it up together.
And the music just
You
never
can put each
stops.
piece of litter in its proper place.
I'm a recycling bin. If an item can be recycled, you can give it to me.
Some things can't be recycled where we live. Put that litter in me, the trash can.
Before you start, try this little game. Click on which one of us you think will end up with more pieces of litter.
Okay. So assuming they can recycle paper and bottles and paper and cardboard. Let's see, trash. I'm gonna say more in the recycling bin.
You guessed me.
Alright, so
A newspaper. A lot of water is used to make paper from trees, so recycling paper saves water and trees. A glass bottle.
glass bottles.
Good. Did you know that glass can be recycled over and over? It never wears out. A 2-liter soda pop bottle.
Let's see.
A cardboard box.
Now the question will be the
A
paper,
paper bag.
Yes. Oh, the
A
styrofoam.
styrofoam food box.
Try again.
It's interesting that she talked as soon as I picked something up that needed
A
to go in
styrofoam
hers.
food box.
Styrofoam can be recycled in some places, but not where we live.
Interesting.
A balloon.
Balloon rubber is not going to be
See
recycled.
the trash coming.
Rags.
Rags, no.
True. Dirty cloth can't be recycled, but old clothing could be reused if it's not too torn. Pie pan. That doesn't belong in the trash can. Try it.
Oh, so
Pie pan.
aluminum that can be recycled.
Aluminum, steel, and tin are just a few of the metals that can be recycled.
Nice going.
That's what I call good, clean fun. And you were thinking big. I did end up with more pieces than Becky. Here's a SmartStar bonus.
I wonder if that's always the case.
Which one of us will get more of this litter?
Almost certainly her.
Let's find out if I get the most.
Let's
A
see.
broken
A
vase.
broken vase.
Pottery can be glued back together, but it can't be recycled.
A candy wrapper.
A hairbrush. That's trash, all right. Notebook paper. A
Now,
tire.
tires can technically be recycled, but I don't think you'd throw it in a recycling bin.
Yeah, car tires are ground into tiny pieces, then used in doormats and to cover playgrounds. You've clearly cleared this clearing of clutter. You sure know how to put things in their place, so put these in your brain bank.
This time I get 2 more stars.
And you were right. I did get more trash than Ben got recycling.
Here's a SmartStar bonus.
So this is yet again another puzzle that would be pretty
Which one
easy
of
to
us
get
will
stars
get more
on.
of this litter?
What's
Thanks for
interesting
your help
here is
cleaning
this,
up.
Let's
if
clear
a
outta
kid put
here.
enough time in it, may learn some game theory and start playing specific things to get more stars
Let's surf down the
easier.
path and see
and-
where it leads.
Because of that, they wouldn't be evenly educated.
Ooh,
What's the matter?
I think there's something in my shoe. Your foot? No, besides that.
Looks like we got a lot of garbage here.
Which things up there start with the letter T? T makes the sound T. Click on the 2 things that start with that letter.
Let's see, a
Table.
table, tire.
Tire, a fine choice.
Way to go!
All right.
A lot of different items here.
Which things up there start with the letter W? W makes the sound W. Click on
see,
the
you
2
have a
things that
watch.
start with that letter. Watch.
And even if this was a raft, that
Inner
would still.
tube.
What is this?
We're just in here redecorating.
Maybe Ben has some carpeting for us. I like our hardwood floors.
Interesting. Warm.
Worm.
Yeah, I guess that says a W.
It's like we won the lottery. Congratulations.
We pull things out of our shoes. If only we had shoes. Yahoo! Whoopee! Way to pick 'em.
Time for some SmartStars.
Some more smart stars. We're earning quite a lot of them. Let's Let's see if this changes.
Things up there start with the letter F. F makes the sound.
Now what's interesting
Click on the
is
two
some
stating, "My
things
shoe
change
fits, I'll wear it."
and some things don't change on the second time. And I am desperately looking for like something. And if you right click on items, you'll interact some more. Let's see. And wasn't there an arrow that pointed us further down this way? Yes. And this gets us into
You've
a bedroom.
discovered our playroom.
And I wonder if the playroom is full of just games or if it's more education.
You know where that leads.
To our music room.
The stage is set for making music.
Let's play a tune together, Becky.
We can play the instruments you see on the walls. I have 4.
And I have 4.
And let's see, I guess.
I love.
And you can speed up the tempo a little bit. Let's see if we just have the violin. Seems like there's 3 specific tunes. And I didn't hear her say I love to play the flute. So it doesn't seem like there's actually any game here or any way to earn stars. I imagine this is just...
I think somebody likes our music. Here comes our own little fan club.
Okay, it just gives us stars at the end, no matter what you do. So, incredibly easy here because you can play for 5
On that
seconds
note, let's
and
go.
then exit. And so, the next thing that we can click on is this.
We love to swim anytime.
There's a whole wet world of wonders down here.
Look, that clam has something inside it.
What could it be?
The fish below are trying to spell out what's in the clamshell.
Choose
So-
the letter on Becky or me that completes the word.
That would be cow.
Cow.
Good choice.
This is an actual
Fox.
challenge,
That's
an
it.
education thing.
Very
How many
nice.
do I have to spell
You
before I get
must be
started?
deep into big thoughts.
Before long, you'll be up to your gills in SmartStars.
So you get 3 of those. Let's go back this way.
Now that looks familiar.
Ever seen fish fly?
And let's see. Then we have one more thing we can do
Count
here.
to 3 and you will see 1, 2, 3 of me.
Click on the Becky that looks different than the other 2.
Interesting. Let's see, this one doesn't have an earring.
Nice going. Which Becky doesn't exactly match the others?
Let's see. What's the difference? Wow, this is a little tough. Or maybe I'm just losing it here. Like, I'm looking at the number of
Something's
stripes.
different about one of
On
them, but
this.
I can't quite put my finger on it.
I'm looking at the shoes. They all look the same. The earrings the same this time. The number of buttons is the same. The smile's the same. The eyes the same. The eyelashes are the same. The hair looks the same.
I'm seeing triple. We'll have to look closely to find what's different.
And And see, I cannot for the life of me tell a difference. So I'm just gonna pick
Good
one.
eye.
I don't know what
Which
the
Becky
difference
doesn't
is there
belong?
at all. It seems a little difficult for a kindergartner, this puzzle in particular. Let's see. And again, as I'm looking, I'm not seeing a difference. So let's just
Must
pick
be
some
one of the
that.
others.
Let's just
A
mess up.
fine choice.
Ah, the stripes
Can
are
you
different.
tell which Becky looks different?
Let's see. It's easier just to guess than it is to try and figure out the differences
Take a
there.
closer look and try again.
This one has square buttons.
That's right.
Here's what I call a triple play.
Click on the Becky that looks different than the other two.
This one's looking
You
upward.
found her. Which Becky doesn't belong?
And it doesn't seem like there's an exit or anything here. Or anything like
Not
that.
that one. Try another. That's right. Can you
They're
tell
short,
which Becky
slightly
looks different?
This one's got
A
different
fine
feet.
choice.
So they've got
Which
many
Becky
different
doesn't
versions
exactly
here
match the others?
of things that are changed. This one's hair is
Good
different.
eye.
You'd make a great detective.
And then finally you get SmartStars for that.
Which Becky doesn't belong?
Let's go ahead and move back this way. And we're in
With
another
so
part
many
of the
books,
house.
we have our own library.
We love to read.
Where are their parents? That's an interesting question. So we've got this.
Let's open up
see
some
what
more
this
fun.
is.
This is my favorite book. You can change around the story by clicking each green word. The picture will change too. Click on me anytime you want me to read your story.
So the leprechaun looks for
These
gold.
stories
So I can change it from leprechaun to lemming. For beans at the end of the beanstalk, besides the scarecrow.
A fairy tale. The lemming looks for beans on the other side of the beanstalk. Do you see Ben disguised as a scarecrow?
What does this do? It moves to the next page. So how many of these are there you could do? So there's a series of games for backyard baseball and several others that are using the same engine, and it's amazing it works at all. I'm not sure I can get it to run, or I have that game though. Seems like there's only about 8
Let's
different
read some more
stories.
later.
Didn't get any stars from that. One assumes that this is all the same. And clicking this seems to take you somewhere different. Interesting. And we've got, let's see. It seems only one more thing here.
I've always wanted a portrait of myself. Maybe you can help.
Okay, Ben. Now hold still while we give you a new look. We can put funny face stickers on Ben, or start with an empty face by using the button that changes head, like this. Now, let's paint a face with the brush, or use the face stickers.
So,
You can change
a
the
more
brush size
complicated
hand, right there
system
where
definitely going on here.
black.
Where you can actually draw a full face on.
If you want to see a different face part, click on the arrows next to each sticker.
Let's see. We can set
Are you
different
sure you want to
faces.
start a new page?
There we go. And depending on what
Why?
color you start,
Are you sure you want to start a
there we go. And you've got
Are you
a
sure you want to
decent
start
amount of presets here. And when you do this
Can.
though, it's not a flood fill anymore. like it was in the Let's Explore. Now you've really got to sit here and color it in. And there's no print button anywhere. So if this was to work, you probably could only hit print screen and then paste it into Paint on Windows. That's about all you could do. And then from pasting, just pasting it after you capture the screenshot by hitting print screen, at that point you could print out to something.
Are you sure you want to start?
Clear, and then you have
Pink.
larger sizes of painting, and then you have an
Undo.
undo.
This takes away the last sticker you put down.
And it seems like there's a significant number of stickers here you can work with. A lot more complicated.
For all your creative work, here comes some familiar faces.
And by doing that, you get some more stars, which
Okay,
is cool.
then, let's see how it looks from a distance.
But you really have to be interested
really
in getting
like
the
it.
stars, and I'm not sure the game is fully motivated to that. And see, there's a way to go this way. Let's see where this leads. It leads right back into this part, so we've gone almost full circle. But there is another way
Want
to
to check out a book?
You don't need a library
Travel.
card here.
which is here. Our Big Thinker Friends,
Hello there.
How are you?
and it's the credits.
I'm Becky Brightly.
Interesting.
Let's start off with a cheer. Yay! We'll face challenges together.
So we can listen to the whole music song.
You can do amazing things just like Kennedy.
Not a lot of people worked on
Something
this.
different, colors fly and run. Your mind will grow and soar.
Seems
You
like
know
a-
it, fill your brain with fun.
And fill your
A
brain with
pretty
fun.
small
So
team.
come along to our house. We're big adventure stars.
But it definitely has some problems of just wandering around and not being
Kindergarten.
led in the proper like gameplay path. There's also some major annoyances going on in this game that are a big hurdle. Let's see. As we go through all this credit stuff. Yeah, it looks like it was a larger group than it seemed at the first, but still feels like maybe a team of 50 worked on the whole thing. This is a real jittery scroll as we watch this. This may be because I have the scaling up. It may very well, in its original resolution, look smoother, but who knows. A lot of testers going through all of this, making sure everything's right. I'm sure you wouldn't want to teach the wrong things to a kindergartner. And man, the credits are still going. And there's nothing here to click on besides exit. The system producer is system programmer is Ron Gilbert, who is a famous name in the video game industry. I believe he made Maniac Mansion, and that's where the Scum VM emulator gets its name, because the Scum mechanism is a script creation utility for Maniac Mansion, is what Scum stands for. So Scum VM is a virtual machine of that, which is kind of like an emulator, but not. This game is dedicated to Brett W. Barrett. That's kind of sad in a kid's game to dedicate a game to somebody who probably died. Let's see. And now is it going in circles? Copyright 1997, 20 years ago. Does it stand up to the test of time? I guess it really does, because 1 + 1 still equals 2. And the ideas and concepts, nothing's really wrong here. There's a lot less vocabulary words and things in this, or less emphasis on things like that. Let's now look at our Big Thinker's book
Smart
and
charts.
see.
Let's see how your smart stars are adding up.
The only thing we don't have is any reading and
Reading
sentences.
and sentences.
You can find out about this in a book from our library's tall shelves.
So if you did want to specifically do
Measurement and
something
estimation.
here,
Reading and sentences.
You can learn more about this in a book from our library's tall shelves.
there's no right
Reading
clicking.
and sentences.
No.
You in a book.
So the only one I didn't get stars from is this.
Our library always makes me think big. I love getting into a good book.
So what do I have to do to get a star in
I
this?
love making up stories. Click the green words to change this story around. Or turn to a new story by clicking the arrows at the bottom.
Let's see. And clicking on this doesn't do
Big
anything.
Ben. Look at the time on Ben the clock. The snail is late to the party in the park. She better drive her bicycle faster.
Alright, so now let's change everything around.
Big Ben. Look at the time on Ben the sundial. The beetle is late to the game in the park. She better drive her potato faster.
And so doesn't seem like anything's different for that. Let's read this one.
Jack and the beanstalk. Jack the rabbit planted some beans. They didn't grow, but Ben's helping by being a beanstalk. Can Jack get past the dogs?
Jack the donkey planted some acorns, being a ladder. Can he get past the jugglers?
Jack and the beanstalk. Jack the donkey planted some acorns. They didn't grow, but Ben's helping by being a ladder. Can Jack get past the jugglers?
Let's see. But it's not giving us anything for this.
Backyard Brightly ball. It's the mice against the elephants. The pitcher just threw a curveball. Do you think the batter can hit it with that salmon? Let's read some more later.
See, and that didn't give us anything.
Let's
If
open
I
up some more
click
fun.
this,
Story time. Click the
Nope.
green words to... Let's read some more later.
so either you have to read a lot more, or there's something more to this. Let's see. This is just credits. There's no other big books that we can click on. So we'll go to the
Reading is great.
second tier of the shelf and see if maybe there's something there.
Which story should we read now? Click the green words to change... Baby Ben. Ben's arms look like these, his head like a milkshake, his legs look like keys, and his body like a rake. Let's read some more later.
So I don't know how much reading you really have to do there. But it seems like a lot because they are
Smart
not willing to
Let's
give
see how your smart stars are adding up.
anything for reading and sentences.
Reading and sentences. Reading and sentences.
But I do have enough stars here that we can finally do the end goal game here. So let's try this out.
It's going to be a real blast. We've
Let's see
really
what this
risen to
happens.
this challenge.
No question about it. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
This feels
What
like
color star?
gambling.
Nobody knows.
Get ready for a
Thinking skills challenge. It takes smart star power to play the challenge.
Let's Power Up.
I'll go first. Click on spin to begin.
This looks like a really
The picture on each
complicated.
satellite matches a picture along the path. The picture on each satellite matches a picture along the path.
Which satellite will move Becky farther?
I don't understand what they mean.
The picture on each satellite matches a picture along the path.
Let's see. Am I supposed to pick
We
something?
can float because there's no gravity out here in space.
Am I supposed to say this one? Take me further? So, am I supposed to pick something
The satellites
again?
need more star power. Click spin.
Spinning the satellites uses up star power, so get as far along the path as you can each time.
So this is
The
kind
picture
of
on
a
each satellite
usage.
matches a picture along the path.
So we're looking for one
The
with
picture
white
on
on
each
the
satellite
left.
matches a picture along the path.
And then, let's see. This one would only get me this far. So
Your
this
SmartStars are running.
one is the better solution. So whichever one you find first, just pick the other one, I suppose. So we're looking for white with yellow on top, or yellow, green, white. So we see a yellow, green, white here.
Now we're getting
We
somewhere.
click this. And see, every time I spin, I'm using some stars, which means you'd have to go back and repeat the gameplay, which is going to be rather annoying for kids.
The picture on each
And you're going to have a decent collection, probably about 50, I
the
would
picture on each
suggest,
satellite matches a
for
picture
young
along the path.
kids.
Let's go.
Oh man, I messed that up. I should have clicked this one. I may very well not make it to the end, and I don't know what getting to the end actually gets me. So, I need to be careful about it. Interestingly enough, an article just came out
The picture on
today
each
that
satellite matches a picture
Wait.
along the path.
two satellites that have been
The
out
picture
of
on each
order
satellite matches a picture along the
almost
path.
crashed into each other, and that would have been a bad occurrence, definitely, if that had occurred
I'm there.
this way. But they narrowly missed, so all is alright. Would make a lot of junk in the
The picture on each
atmosphere.
satellite matches a picture along the path. The picture on each satellite matches a picture
Very
along the path.
repetitive here,
I'm on the move.
as far as the dialogue. I could definitely see parents getting annoyed with this. I'm getting annoyed with it. Let's see.
The picture on each.
This should win it for us.
Great going.
And so I have
Eeny,
17
meeny, miny,
remain.
moe. Which color star? Nobody knows. This time you'll have a...
Language Arts Challenge.
It takes SmartStar power to play the challenge. Let's get started out.
Now I'll try.
So I might as well just use everything I've got, but it didn't reward me for doing this, and it's now giving me a different puzzle.
The lowercase letter on each satellite matches an uppercase letter on the path.
Which satellite will move me farther?
And so the W will move me further than the Y. But even if I play this perfectly, I don't
Spinning
have
the
enough
satellites uses up
energy.
star power, so get as far along the path as you can.
This P is the next one, but I only have 11, and it uses 3 each time. V, N. So I have 2 more of these, and then I'm out.
L.
And they're probably not going
Let's go, go, go!
to let me win, or reward me for getting further. Perhaps it would save our attempts here.
Full blast!
You don't have enough star power left to spin the satellites. Here are all your stars back from this challenge. try the Superstar Smarts Challenge again.
First, let's get more SmartStars.
So it seems like it's pretty nice to you there.
Smart
no?
charts.
Here are all the SmartStars you've ever earned.
But seeing how this is 15, you can pretty much assume that they want you to get somewhere close to 100 stars in each one of these. Still no idea how you'd get the reading and sentences one. In total, this entire hour of gameplay, I've gotten slightly less than 40, I would say, just doing some rough bad math. 15 plus 4 is 19, 27, 35, 44. Let's see. We could
If you've been
sign
here
in.
before, just click on your name and let's play.
If this is your first time visiting us, enter a new
It's
name.
strange that it didn't do anything about the birthday at all. And the smart chart doesn't
Smart
help
chart.
at all.
Let's see how your smart stars are adding up.
So unlike the Let's Explore game, way more educational, but way more irritating too. Ah, look, now we've got a menu that's popping up on this screen that apparently wasn't working before. So let's see, what does this one do? It tells us exactly what's in our bank, and 0 of these stars, which I imagine you get by beating this. We have a go thing.
Go where you know. Let's think and go. We'll think up some places we've gone with you.
There we are. Now, wherever you click, we'll go.
So
The Superstar of Smarts Challenge.
they pick 5 things right there. And let's just see. If we go back to the library, that helps. And see down here, as I move the mouse down here, it doesn't work. It's only on the main thing. So it's a little weird that there's no options other than these, and the options are just right here. I'll move the mouse around the top just in case. And then I imagine if we clicked exit, it would ask us to exit. But we won't even bother with that. While very, very much more education focused, a lot of the fun, it seems to have gone down quite a bit. They're trying to put fun in this, but this is very, very iffy, I would say. I would definitely say if you had this game, put your kid in front of it, see if they can figure it out, see if they want to wander around. Try to not be in the room while they're, or try not to pay too much attention to the audio. I guess you probably still should be in the room, but try not to go insane listening to all the explanations over and over again and the music non-stop playing and all of that. Through the ScumVM program, you could certainly turn down the music all the way to 0, and that would help a little bit, but then it would not be playing any music for the kid, and they probably wouldn't be that interested in that. I can't really take away any points for not having a clock, because in this case the game actually does have a clock, but no like timer to say you've been playing too long, and this game seems to really want the kid to play for hours and hours and hours, which is not right for any program aimed at kids. You want to try to limit the amount of time in front of TV screens and such. This still will definitely train them to use a mouse, which kids need to still learn for as much as they use tablets and cell phones, but I don't see how any kid would be obsessed about learning on all of these broad things. Maybe a kid would love puzzles and just do the puzzle section. Maybe a kid would learn some game theory here and just do the easiest ones to get as many stars as necessary. Because if you just did puzzles and you had 100 stars in that collection, you could still do the Superstars element. And get past that point, if you're even motivated to do the SmartStars challenge. I find these two characters who we never really got any backstory on, so I assume they're brother and sister. They're kind of annoying, they're tapping their feet, they're not very patient. That seems... some of the puzzles we see here are really difficult for a kindergartner, while the other questions seem right on target. Like 1 + 1 equals 2 is right on target for a kindergartner, but telling the difference between square buttons and round buttons on a 3 copies of her seems a little difficult. It's definitely a good attempt, but I think this is implemented a little badly, and so you're gonna have to put up with a lot. Unfortunately, in the 20 years since this game has come out, it's not like there's been a flood of educational software, and this one still works. Maybe there's slightly better things out there, but as I look on Steam, I don't run into those things, and often I'll cover the Lego games as a game that you little kids can play, and a kindergarten would be fun playing the Lego games. Those games unfortunately have zero educational value or very little educational value. Also, sometimes they run like garbage on the PC. So this might be the best software you can find for an actual educational software, which may just be easier not to use any software at all and just wait till the kid gets into kindergarten and starts getting homework that you have to work with them, and let the teachers teach these things. At the end of the day, it might get them slightly ahead of the class, but that really isn't even the goal for kindergartners or first graders. Individual excellence at low-level education is frowned upon because it just means the child will be bored in class as the teacher has to teach all of the other students. So at an hour of covering this, I'd say it's alright with some major issues. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, go to my main YouTube page. On the right there's a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is the subscribe button and the bell you need to click to get notifications. There's also a playlist tab that has a playlist for every game I've ever covered. Finally, down below in the description box, I have links to all my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net, so please follow and friend me on all of those. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.